The Persian Gulf War, aka Operation Desert Storm, was a war fought between Saddam Hussein's Iraq and a coalition of 35 nations, led primarily by the United States and the United Kingdom. But what led to this war? To answer that, we have to travel back to 1922, when the UK drew the borders for the nations of Kuwait and Iraq. These borders left Iraq virtually landlocked, a most undesirable situation for Iraq's dictator Saddam Hussein, who had come to power in 1979. The Kuwaitis also aggravated Iraq by exceeding their OPEC oil quotas and by slant drilling operations into Iraq's Rumaila oil field, which Saddam claimed was a form of economic warfare. Iraq invaded Kuwait on August 2nd of 1990. With the fourth largest army in the world, Iraq swiftly conquered Kuwait after 12 hours of armed conflict. The U.S. condemned the action and demanded a withdrawal of Iraqi forces. The Iraqis refused, and U.S. military was sent overseas to protect oil interests in Saudi Arabia. On January 16th of 1991, the U.S. invaded Iraq. The U.S. subjugated the Iraqis to one of the most brutal aerial bombardments in history, dropping 88,500 tons of explosives on military and civilian infrastructure. The Iraqi government responded by invading Saudi Arabia, a move which would end in disaster, as U.S. and coalition weaponry devastated Iraqi tanks and trucks before they could even see their enemy. The coalition then began their counter-offensive, and by February 27th, Kuwait had been liberated and Iraqi forces were in full retreat. During the retreat, the Iraqi soldiers set fire to nearly 700 Kuwaiti oil wells. The coalition forces entered Iraq February 24th and met fierce Iraqi resistance, who managed to destroy thousands of Iraqi tanks, armor, and personnel with minimal casualties. The Iraqi troops retreated in a massive convoy via the Iraq-Kuwait Highway. The convoy was bombed so extensively that it became known as the Highway of Death. Hostilities ceased on February 28th of 1991. Kuwait had been freed from Iraq, and President of the United States, George Bush, did not want to risk an invasion of Iraq becoming another Vietnam War. After a war that had cost just so few American lives, the area would continue to be a troubled region, even today.
Learn more about the Persian Gulf War. We interviewed a former veteran of the war.
Hi, how are you doing today?
Hi.
What is your name?
Matthews, Lieutenant.
And where were you born, Lieutenant Matthew?
I was born in Frankfurt in a U.S. Army complex.
Mm-hmm. And how old were you when you joined the military?
I joined the military in my...
Okay. And how old were you when war broke out with Iraq?
When I was 22 when we deployed to Saudi Arabia. I think I was 21. I actually invaded over there for
And what was your job over in Iraq?
It's interesting. Commercial airliner, reading expeditionary in Saudi Arabia. The initial operation was Desert Shield, so it was basically just staging, preparing for invasion.
All right. And so did you have a lot of experience meeting with other coalition forces?
I did, actually, primarily with other coalition forces.
And did you ever meet any native Kuwaitis when you were over there? Or did you mainly just have contact with allied forces?
Yes. I interacted with Kuwaiti military forces, the Syrian forces, over 35 countries, I believe, there, and I, on a daily basis, was interacting with them. At the beginning, and it was most and prep, the actual shooting, which began
And my last question for you, Lieutenant Matthew, is did you stay in the military after the war, or did you pursue a different career?
Ultimately, no, I did go into a different career. So after the war, and after the ceasefire, there was an uprising in the South. The Shia, that we were not that actively involved with. In the North, my in particular was active, and we flew up there somewhat in a roundabout fashion, and then ultimately and we're there for another 4 or 5 with the Kurd halting capacity. Ultimately, though, probably continued to October, maybe November of '91, and from that, then all forces were removed out of the North. I ultimately went back to my original building, finished up my time in the Navy, and then moved on into defense contract.
All right. Thank you for joining us today, Lieutenant Matthew.